There's John Tortorella talking about his team's 3-2 shootout win over the Philadelphia Flyers. Jody Shelley joins me right now. And, Jody, let's just get to the point of the guys that score the 2 goals at the end of regulation. How much does it mean that it's Cam Atkinson and Boone Jenner? These are some of the young guys that you want to take more of a leadership role. It's a lot easier to do that when you're constantly scoring big goals like that.
Well, that's a great point. I kind of felt like the Blue Jackets. I don't know how you felt. I feel like they had more to give the whole game. It felt like it was – they were waiting for somebody to do something, and they weren't getting inside shots. They sure they had a lot of shots, but they were outside. There was no fighting for rebounds. There was no rebounds. Mason did a great job with his rebounds there. But Boone Jenner grabbed it with that shot. I mean, Seth Jones, too. Like, let's credit him with those assists. He got the pucks through the net. He stayed with plays on both those goals, Atkinson and Jenner. He's another young guy in on this. So Bobrovsky with the saves, Murray with some skating plays. The young guys stepped up. Love that. I love what the point you just made, because this game, there were people heading to the exits. It was down 2-0 with like just under a minute 10 to go in the game, and they wanted it in a shootout. It's crazy. It's awesome.
It is crazy, no doubt. And you mentioned Seth Jones, and you're absolutely right, because he was making some plays to hold the puck at the blue line in the waning moments of regulation that made a huge difference.
Yeah, and that's not – he makes it – he's good. That's why he makes it look easy. He's calm when he's on that in those pressure moments. He's smart with the puck. He knows where his support players are. Those are all things that you can't really – I mean, you can teach and talk about, but for a 21-year-old, 22-year-old kid, that's really good. So – in that situation, you look at the play, like the goal scorers, of course, that's great. But the plays around there, the fire to keep that going, because they were shorthanded. They took the goalie out. You're thinking, what is the coach? Why, what are we doing? Okay, let's take the goalie out because it looks like we're trying to. No, the reaction on the bench, everybody erupted. They were fired up when they scored that tying goal. That was a big moment.
Yeah, and that's so the message to them is, hey, our coach believes in us, and we can get it done even a man down, so they went out and they got it done. You just talked to Sergei Bobrovsky when he came off the ice after being named the #1 star. That was old Bobrovsky tonight in the third period and in the shootout in the overtime, wasn't it?
Bob, go back to his last win against the Devils the other night. That was his first win in 5 games. He had 5. They were all losses before that. He got hurt in one. Don't think that's not a big win, that last game. And you could tell exactly. The confidence will grow with the wins. He's a competitor. When he loses, he takes it on the chin. He's one of those guys that would have overthought it, overworked, and this confidence will build. He was excited on the bench.
And he beats the Flyers. That's even more exciting for him, right? The team that gave up on him.
Oh, yeah.
He beats them. He now has 96 wins as a Blue Jackets goaltender. That ties him with the guy he played against tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Mason. How about that? So
that's
a lot of
great.
Interesting storylines in this one tonight, right?
There were. Yeah, there was a lot. They haven't beat the Jackets in this building. Is it 7 or 8 in a row now?
It's been a while, a long time.
And, there was a lot of great storylines. Voracek, of course, and it was it was fun right down to the wire.
Yeah, that turned out to be a great game. And for a team that's not going to the playoffs, these are the kind of games that you hang on to, right?
You know what? Yeah, and from where we sit, we think, the Blue Jackets came back. Some people might think, oh, yeah, whatever, they're out of the playoffs. That was a big that told a lot, I think. And especially if you saw the reaction of the bench, it was just like this meant this was a big deal to those players and that coaching staff to come back and take a bite out of the Flyers. The Flyers were getting mouthy down there with the Blue Jackets too. When they got up by 2 goals and things got rough and Bull had taken the player out and there was some back and forth down there that the Flyers their swagger was high, but it went the other way after that shootout goal.
Yeah, it sure did. It went the other way, and that's how the Blue Jackets cap off the season series with the Flyers. Coming up next, Thursday night, the Carolina Hurricanes will be in town. That'll be a 7 o'clock face-off. That'll do it for our portion of the Tim Hortons post-game show. Milan Jordan will continue with you next. For Jody Shelley, I'm Bob McElligott saying so long, and thanks for listening to the Scioto Downs Columbus Blue Jackets Radio Network.